The latest transfer news is in, and we're here to talk about two things. Then we're going to get to a poll later on, and make sure you go vote on the Rangers PSV poll, second leg away in Eindhoven. Let's get stuck into them. But first off, Harry Souttar. We've been linked for a number of weeks, but it's came out today that there is truth to it. Now, it's not looking like a permanent deal. This guy, signed for Leicester City for Stoke 8 months ago for approximately like 15 million. Now, yes, Leicester did get relegated, and you could be looking at a bit more of a cut price, like maybe like a 10 million, half of it or whatever. But for me, I don't think we're going to fork the money out and pay that for Harry Souttar. But what looks like is being touted here is a 1 year loan, and I think that would be absolutely outstanding business. Now, some people may be arguing, what happens though when Connor Goldson's partnered by Souttar, and we don't know which Souttar it is? And here, could this cause bad blood between Harry and John? Personally, I don't care if it causes bad blood between Harry and John. Big Match Johns are Big Match John. Harry would just be here for a year. And personally, I think if we brought Harry Souttar in, and I mean, I don't want it to be negative, but I think it is just inevitable. It's a matter of time before John Souttar picks up a knock or an injury, and that's him out for a period of time. Hopefully, he picks up one injury and he's only out for like 3 weeks or something for the whole season. But I think we've got to be realistic about it, and I think bringing Harry Souttar in would be brilliant because he just doesn't have the same amount of injury problems as his brother. And you know what? If you watch the World Cup and if you've seen him in action, I'd say he's every bit as good as John. They're brothers. He's only 24. He's a massive guy, just like his brother. And those two at the back with Goldson. Imagine that as a back three. I think that as a back three would enable Barisic and Tav to push forward. I know we've played the back three with like Souttar, not Souttar. I mean, previously like with Batty and Lundstrom, and some games Lundstrom will come in for the midfield and it will form more of a back three. But imagine the Souttar brothers and Goldson as your three centre backs. That's quality. No one can dispute that, man. But for me, get this guy in on loan, and I think it would be a great deal. Would it wrap up our summer spending? I mean, it'd be near enough there. Looks like we're going to get a few more exits, of course. Hadji has left us on loan. I think we really need a winger. If I'm being honest, I think we need a winger. I say really need a winger. It's not like, here, we don't sign one, everything's over, because we are kind of playing now with foot wingers. We're going very narrow. And the fact that we are doing that, and the likes of Matondo and Sima aren't really starting now. Okay, they are starting the odd game, especially Sima, but it looks like we're just going for a narrow formation, which doesn't really require wingers as much. But therefore, it's not like you're starting two wingers every game and then you need wingers on the bench. The wingers who would be starting, for example, are now on the bench because you've got more like two strikers up top, or three in some cases. So yeah, I think a winger would be priority. But Ben Davies, guys, the mighty Big Ben, he's on his way out. He's talking to championship clubs. This is absolutely the right decision. Yeah, we've got to get rid of this guy. I mean, it's just not worked out. You're kind of able to tell from pretty early on if someone's going to make it or not. And this guy just isn't good enough. He's got a mistake in him. He's pretty shite. I know we signed him for Liverpool, but he never even played a game for Liverpool. That was just during a time Liverpool had no centre backs, and they signed him, and he still couldn't get a game. Work at it. Liverpool had no centre backs. They signed this guy, and he still didn't get a game. Now you could argue here, Liverpool signed him. They must have seen something in him. Apparently not. But thankfully, looks like this deal is going to get resolved, and we'll make a bit of money, hopefully, and then hopefully I can go towards bringing Harry Souttar in on loan, which would be an absolutely insane upgrade if we're being perfectly honest about it. And to wrap up this vid, we're going to look at Eden Hazard poll results. This was due to a request. And is he on his way? 280 votes, 23% voted yes, 77% voted no. And we've got 4 comments. Stevie the King, or Stevie Finky. Stevie the King. He's on his way to Palace. Here, looks like the day he's retiring. So maybe he'd rather retire than play for us. Who knows? JK, man, Hazard. I actually don't want him. I think for the wages, it's just not worth it for an injury-prone guy that's out of shape. But here, very voice that. Mr. Nice says Castore are funding it. Supposedly, for shirts with Hazard on it, could be over 100. Yeah, fucking, I'd buy that. Mr. JR72, he's the guy responsible. He says he requested it. And then the final comment, William, nah, I don't think so. He cost too much. Everyone pretty much in agreement. I think the 23% there were just doing that for the crack. I tell you what, I'm watching an episode of the Open Goal podcast when they feed and Bobby the Barman. And you know what? It's great crack. I would absolutely recommend. But until next time, Eden Hazard, Ben Davies, Harry Souttar, all talked about what's going to happen.